Have you ever wondered if someone is lying to your face? Whether in everyday life, at work, or in relationships, lies are everywhere. Today, we'll show you 10 signs that indicate someone might be bending the truth. Stay tuned and become a human lie detector. First sign: unusual body language. A classic sign of lying is body language. Even when someone tries to stay calm, their body often reveals more than words. For example, someone might unconsciously hide their hands or frequently change their posture when lying. It's often observed that liars touch their faces more frequently, possibly because they unconsciously want to protect themselves. Also, watch out for micro movements. Example: I remember a situation where a friend of mine claimed he had read the book I lent him. While he was talking, he kept fiddling with his shirt, as if trying to calm himself. It turned out he hadn't even opened the book. Second sign: contradictory statements. Contradictions in a story are often a clear sign that something is not right. If the narrative doesn't add up or keeps changing, it could indicate a lie. Liars often have to improvise, and they can easily get caught up in their own words. Imagine someone tells you they were at home but later mentions they went out to eat with friends. These kinds of contradictions should set off alarm bells. Another example: if someone says they arrived at 8 o'clock but later claims it was 7 o'clock, it could be a sign that they're unsure of what they said. Tip: ask precise follow-up questions if a statement seems odd to you. If the person then starts to falter, it could be a sign of a lie. Third sign: too many details. Sometimes, liars provide an excessive amount of details to make their story seem credible. Yet, it's this very abundance of information that can betray them. It's a psychological phenomenon. Liars often believe that more details make their story more believable. But the opposite is true. Too many details can seem suspicious, especially if they are unnecessary and redundant. Example: if someone tells you they were at the supermarket and then describes in great detail all the products they saw without you asking, it could be a sign that they're making up a story. Scientific explanation: psychologists have found that people who tell the truth tend to report the essentials. Liars, on the other hand, often overcompensate out of fear that their story isn't believable. Fourth sign: avoiding or overly maintaining eye contact. A common misconception is that liars can't maintain eye contact. In reality, there are two extremes. Some avoid it, while others maintain it excessively. Each of us has a natural rhythm for how often and how long we maintain eye contact. If someone suddenly stares unnaturally long or avoids your gaze, it's suspicious. The person might be trying to manipulate you or hide their insecurity. Interestingly, a study has shown that liars often try to intensify their eye contact because they believe it makes them seem more honest. Practical tip: pay attention to how a person's eye contact behaves in different situations. A change in this behavior can be a sign of discomfort or dishonesty. Fifth sign: unusual speech patterns. Another sign of lying is abnormal speech patterns. Liars tend to speak more slowly, pause more frequently, or suddenly lower their voice. When someone lies, the brain is often overloaded. It has to conceal the truth, invent a lie, and simultaneously remain credible. This cognitive load often leads to changes in speech. For example, the person might suddenly speak more slowly or use an unusually high number of filler words like or ah. A sudden change in tone, such as speaking in a deeper voice, can also be a sign that someone is trying to emphasize their statement or sound more serious. Also, listen to the length of the answers. Too short or overly long responses can also be suspicious. Sixth sign: sudden emotional reactions. Emotional outbursts or exaggerated reactions can be another sign of lying. Liars often become angry or defensive to distract from the truth. Emotions play a significant role when it comes to lying. Some people react overly emotionally because they feel caught or want to mask their insecurity. For example, someone might suddenly get angry when you ask a simple question. This exaggerated reaction often serves to distract you or prevent you from asking further questions. Seventh sign. Repeating questions. Repeating questions gives the liar more time to think. It can be a sign that the person is carefully planning their response. If someone repeats your question before answering, it might be an attempt to buy time. It's a psychological trick to prepare the brain for an impending lie. For example, if you ask, "Were you at the office yesterday?" and the response is, "Was I at the office yesterday?" it could be an attempt to gain more time. Observe whether the person does this frequently, especially with difficult or uncomfortable questions. Eighth sign. Use of distancing language. Liars tend to distance themselves from their statements. They often use less "I" and more "you" or "we" to obscure their responsibility. Avoiding personal pronouns like "I" can be a sign that someone doesn't want to take full responsibility for their words. Instead of saying, "I completed the task," a liar might say, "The task was completed." This creates emotional distance and helps the liar feel less guilty. Example: a friend of mine always spoke in the third person when he wanted to hide something. He would say, "One should not do that," instead of directly admitting that he had done something wrong. Ninth sign. Sudden change of topic. If someone suddenly changes the subject or redirects questions back to you, it may be an attempt to avoid uncomfortable truths. Liars often try to steer the conversation in another direction to avoid the truth. A sudden change of topic is a typical defense mechanism. For example, you might ask, "What did you do yesterday?" and the response could be, "Why are you asking that? By the way, did you see the game yesterday?" That's a clear sign that the person wants to hide something. Don't let a change of topic distract you. Stick to your question and demand a clear answer. 10th sign. Physical symptoms. Our body often reacts to stress. Sweating, trembling, or flushed skin can be signs that someone is under pressure, perhaps because they're lying. Physical symptoms are often a direct indication of inner stress. Example: if someone suddenly starts sweating or can't keep their hands still, even though there's no obvious cause, it could be a sign of a lie. Scientific explanation. The autonomic nervous system reacts to stress with physical symptoms. These reactions are hard to control, which is why they're often a clear sign of lying. Conclusion. These were our 10 signs that someone might be lying. Remember, no one is perfect, and these signs don't always mean someone is lying. But they can help you develop a better sense of when to be skeptical. The art lies in considering these signs in combination, and trust your gut feeling. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more exciting content, and share this video with someone who might find it useful too.